I am singing at the party.
I feel it. Oh my god, I hate you so much. Is this what it's going to be like tonight? Because I'm going to quit right now.
It's very likely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to quit right now.
You can't quit us, Jen.
I'm quitting you. I'm done.
Alt+F4 that shit.
I have Alt+F4'd all three of you.
Jen is going to quit all of us, and we are going to Control-Z right back in.
That should be our episode title. Alt+F4 on life.
So, moving on. Episode 23.
Like the DuckTales. One of them's like...
If I tap my mic, can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it worked that way. What if I, run a metal pen over it?
A metal peen.
I love you, Jen. I'm just kidding. It's not going to be like this the whole episode. Just 3/4 of it.
So, hi, Jen. What are you playing? What's going on? How are things?
Episode 23.
Dark side of the moon.
Back.
Wait, are we starting? Is this for real?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
We need a clean start. We've been talking over each other.
No, we don't.
Fine, just make the editing job more tough for me.
Episode 23.
23.
Welcome back to Hardcore Casuals. I'm going on record and saying that I'm not ready for this tonight based on the pre-show.
I'm not supposed to be here today.
So, welcome back.
Welcome,
listeners.
everyone.
We love
She's
you.
got immunities.
What episode is it?
23.
Right on. That's just so exciting.
You've got mail. Bente Trace.
God.
What?
Oh, it is very good for our Spanish listeners. They know what episode it is.
What is it in French? Vingt trois?
So we need Buddy to come in and do it in French.
De Platon, episode 23. I don't even know. We would have to get Buddy to do the 23 in French accent because I don't have a clue how he would do that.
Hello, buddy.
We could ask the guy that,
Hey, that's
No, we
cheating,
weren't
though.
asking for actual French.
Yeah, we need Buddy French.
We want American authentic French, all right? Straight from the
It's a
source
totally
of Virginia
different
Beach.
language.
part of me has that reference of just wanting to, do the audio tapes when they're trying to teach you how to do something and have Dan, say it like it should be. And then right after that, have Buddy. Platon.
The Platon. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Le Platon. Correction, Platon.
I'm so glad that carried over because it was just me and him in the party the first night that started. And it had to be brought into the bigger audience. It had to.
We could turn it into its own podcast, French with Buddy.
Welcome
With
back.
just me in the background correcting everything.
Dan just progressively getting madder and madder through the entire
Yes.
episode.
We should have a segment for our
We're just discouraged. Oh, God damn it.
It should be a new segment. It'll be the mid-roll for our episode. And now we present
Next week on
French with Buddy.
What was it I called you, Dan? I think I said you were frou-frou.
Yes, that was it. That was the word.
Frou-frou Dan. Frou-frou Dan is our translator.
Oh my god, I'm lost now. And I just want to talk about video games.
All right. Well, whose fault that? You guys are like...
The rails, as always.
guys
All
are
I said
like-
was, what episode is this? And then it became Spanish, then French, then translating, then Buddy.
Well, it's not my fault.
By the
I
beard of
can't control
Zeus.
you guys. You guys are like...
Great,
Odin's Raven. Oh, jinx.
Oh, boy.
So
Well, we
anyway,
should probably
Catch you
move
next
on.
week, guys.
Take it easy.
Thank you, San Diego.
off
sorry.
the rails
I thought we were-
already.
What do you mean already? Like, this is... We didn't
just
even start out...
continued from. Yeah.
Yeah, we
just
didn't even start
continued
out
from
on the rails this time. There were no rails at the beginning of this episode. So I'm just saying right now, this is probably how it's going to be for the whole show. Also, I can't breathe, so if I sound a little nasally, Ben, I do apologize.
How do you sound nasally, Ben? Is that like a...
There was
Different
a
kind of
comma. There was an unpaused comma in there.
okay.
If I sound a little nasally, comma, Ben, specifically apologizing to you.
It's just Gen Ultimate. She's just talking. That's what Gen Ultimate becomes present.
Gen Ultimate. Now playing. Who's going first?
I'm not sure. What do you think, Jen? Should Dan go first or Josh? I'll leave it up to you. Back to you, Jen.
I need a minute to catch my breath.
Oh. And with all that greatness.
Josh, go first.
Yeah. On top of all this thing, I know that you said you needed a moment to catch your breath, but it sounded like you said catch your breasts.
Well, that too.
Oh, God. Anyway, I got to catch him. All right. So besides the usual Fortnite and Rocket League, which I got my rewards, so Jen's allowed to play Rocket League with me again.
For now.
Welcome back. Yeah.
For now. So that up there, they switched up to a sunny beach kind of setup. Some new cars. I did see in the news recently that everybody's losing their shit because they're going to have the Jurassic Park Jeeps.
Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
that looks really... The goal explosion looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that T-Rex roar? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's anything else in the game that looks like that. Or maybe there is. Or that elaborate.
There was a Halloween one that came out that has like a big, like, roaring on fire demon skull thing.
There's also the
comes
two
out of the goal.
dragons. Like, there's a dual dragon one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I bet that looks awesome too.
It does. Speaking of dual dragons, outside of those couple of things, the other thing I've been playing with you guys is Overwatch. Lots and lots of
Oh my
Overwatch.
god. So good. What a blast from the past. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think that the best thing that PlayStation had done was to open up that free weekend. And by chance, that free weekend coinciding exactly with the sale at Best Buy, where it was after tax here in the U.S. it was like $17. So, yeah. So,
That's awesome.
if you know people that by chance have one of the Gamers Club thing, that were able to help out with that, it's always good things to have friends. So that's pretty much the main run for this week. Or this time around, nothing too crazy. I mean, been trying to get into the whole summer swing of things at the old household, so it's been kind of limited to those couple of things. But getting started with another game I picked up on sale, which was Dragon Age Inquisition. So we'll have some reference for that probably in the next episode, and more Overwatch, more characters other than just the one or two of them that I get stuck into playing, or not stuck into playing, but have fallen into playing joyfully so far. And
which one was those? What were they again? The characters?
It was Soldier 76 and Genji off the rip there as the main two. But played around with it a little bit this afternoon. pre-show and started going into the training mode, which I thought was hilarious because after killing some of the bots, I found out that all of them sound like Claptrap from Borderlands.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I just decided to drop in a little training spot and try to play with some of the other characters and attack some stuff and do some moves and see if I could expand my horizons on everything other than just the attackers and not, I wasn't using any of the tanks or the support people or anything like that. So expanding horizons. But no, outside of that, yeah. So pretty much those were the main things. Watch my kids play a lot of Little Big Planet 3. They dusted that back off. So, you know what? No, now that I look at it, I did by chance dust off one of my old favorites from back in the Sega Genesis days, or whenever it started, which was Samurai Shodown. I got one of the packs that I think it's had a couple different versions of the game, but started playing Samurai Shodown 6, which really still has the same graphics from way back in the day. They just added more characters. Wasn't bad, but it's one of those nostalgic things I get into. And I think that's pretty much... Oh, and then if you guys were paying attention to any of our friends out there randomly sending out messages, we were streaming our Street Fighter match last night with me and Buddy. And we're going to have to see if we can even out some internet connections because heavy lag left him with a 2-1 win there. So we're going to have to come back and whoop that ass. No.
From what I could see, it didn't look like it should have gone that way.
What's that?
You mean Josh should have won?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the only way we can...
No, Josh, just go with it.
No. But Buddy and I are relatively even at our Street Fighter matches.
Well, who do you guys normally play as?
The match we played last night, we just stuck to both of us were playing with Ryu.
Ryu versus Ryu.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it was all about last night. The way they did it this time around with you have to buy characters from playing, it's kind of like the whole Battlefront 2 situation of playing through a bunch of stuff to try to get enough credits to buy a character. Kind of the same thing here where you got to do a bunch of story missions and everything like that to hope you get enough credits to buy a character or some outfits and things like that. So unless you buy the season pass, which I didn't want to do. So, but all in good fun. But those were the things for this time around.
Noise.
Yeah. So I don't know who is next. I say Dan.
All right.
Okay, Nasally Jen, here I am. I've been mostly playing Overwatch. No surprise. I'm kind of partly guilty for getting us onto it. But I've been having fun with it. I bought it on PC at launch and never had people to play with, so I was kind of glad that we jumped on it on sale because I've been, wanting to get good at it or just get more time with it in general. Aside from that, I have been playing the fucking Monster Hunter World that dropped another big patch when I don't have time for it, and I'm enjoying the hell out of the new crazy monster that they added. So that's been eating up a bit of time, and shocker of the century for me, I bought a game to play with my wife. Detroit Become Human.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, for anyone who knows my wife, I've been with her for 19 years. We have never played a game together, so this has been a momentous occasion. We're not all that far into it yet, but really digging it, and she's kind of getting involved and seeing that she's enjoying it more than she expected. So looking forward to spending more time in that, that's for sure.
Damn, Daniel!
White shoes and all.
We'll have to correct you there. It would be Détoin.
And that rounds it out for me.
Now, any I know that Ben was playing it. I think Jen was playing it too. Like any references? What is the Detroit Become Human similar to? Anything like that?
Well, the thing is that I haven't played any of the other David Cage games. I think that's his name, right? Yeah, it's all like Dark Souls. But Heavy Rain and all that, I know of them but never played them. So I'm going into this style of game somewhat blind, which I think just is adding to the fun. I don't have anything to really compare it to. For those who don't know, it is kind of like a choose your adventure interactive story kind of thing, but with a fair bit more action and quick timey events than I expected there to be.
Now, in that situation, is it one of those are there multiple endings? Or does it all culminate? Okay.
I think it's one of the games where every individual, every little choice you make can have significant impacts on what happens later on.
It all ultimately ends in the same place. It's just depending on the decisions you've made along the way, what transpires during those final events will be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Which I guess that would be a good segue to let Ben talk about it because you've been playing it too. So seeing as you've...
Well, Jen, I think Jen knows the most about it because she... Oh, well, no, I guess I finished. Yeah, my wife and I...
You finished it too.
Yeah, similar boat to Dan there. I was able to play it with my wife, and we don't really play games together. I mean, we play Limbo together, kind of those kind of games that are, kind of chill and interesting or puzzle based or whatever. But this was a really great game to play with a significant other or with a friend. All the decisions that... Or by yourself, of course. I'm so sorry.
I don't have any friends.
I'm so sorry, Jen. Please don't hate me.
But it was great. I mean, I finished the game. We finished the game last night. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything for Dan.
Damn right.
The character development was on point. The actors were great. You do have all your movesets at the beginning, so that might be a con for you, Josh. No, but seriously, it's a great game to play with someone else just because the inputs, the controls are very, they're very simple. It's kind of like pressing X. Like Dan was saying, it's a choose your own adventure. You have to press X here, a little quick time event kind of thingies. But it's a good story. Very interesting. It gets philosophical.
Yeah.
I got surprised at how quickly it starts to pick up because I remember you warning me that the beginning is a little dry. It's kind of showing you the basics of the controls and stuff like that. I was kind of waiting for stuff to pick up.
Yeah, my wife was like,
"Holy crap!" It really picked up.
Oh yeah, there's all this setup at the beginning. These are the characters, and this is where they are, and the scenarios of their lives, and what's going on. And then all of a sudden, it's shit just
Kaboom!
hit the fan.
Yeah, all three arcs at the same time.
Yes, all the shit hit all three fans simultaneously.
Yeah, so much shit.
There's shit everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't played the other. I think you said Luke Cage or David Cage. Mm-hmm. Luke Cage. Who's Luke Cage? Isn't
Luke Cage is
the
Marvel character?
Yeah.
My bad.
That dude's making.
It's a Marvel game. It's okay.
Dark Souls Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see if Josh or Jen, if you guys have played it, because my wife's been asking if there are any other kind of games like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, there are, but I'm not sure if if they're good or not. Have you guys played them?
Nope.
Nothing that I have played now. I want to say that Ryan was talking about the Heavy Rain one that was out there.
I think Magma was talking about Beyond Two Souls.
Well, see, about Beyond Two Souls, I've heard that it's everyone says it's crap. I haven't heard anyone really talk about Heavy Rain, but I have heard that Beyond Two Souls is not good. But
it was the one that was free on PSN last month.
Up until 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh shit, that is free.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So if you
not anymore.
Yeah, it switched today.
I hope you picked it up. I've never played them. It's not the kind of confession.
It's not the kind of game you play by yourself, Jen. Is that what you're going to say?
It's not the kind of game I would necessarily. Well, no, that's not true.
Play it all.
Yeah, it's not true. It's just really hard for me to go and pick up that kind of game because I have 52 other things to play that are more...
I'm totally with you. Same thing. I was not planning on buying this at any point until I tried the demo. Then it kind of piqued my interest, and then the main guy, Marcus. Yeah, well, yeah, my wife is a fan of his from Grey's Anatomy. So
Marcus is the one.
Yes.
I wondered which actor.
Yeah, he was one of the selling points to get my wife to want to try it.
Interesting.
So I seized that opportunity to say, "Hey, we need to play a game together." Oh, it's that guy. Oh, okay.
So, in all honesty, I haven't actually played Detroit either, but I follow a lot of YouTubers, and one of my more favoriter YouTubers streamed the whole game, and he put his archives on YouTube. So they're like 7-hour videos each, 2 7-hour videos. And it took him to
All
get
of
through
them archives.
that it took him to get through the playthrough once. And it was, I mean, it's really interesting to watch. He didn't make the decisions that I necessarily would have made.
Oh, that's a shame. But I mean, it's still good to see how it plays out too.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing either, right? So it's still really interesting, and watching how the story goes, and his motto through the whole thing is hilarious to me. He would make a decision and be like, "Oh God, guys, I think I fucked up. I fucked up, you guys." Every time.
Yeah, we have those moments too. We're like, shit.
I think I fucked up.
Can you turn the game off?
Control Z. Control Z.
Can we go back in time?
Alt+F4.
Chloe would yell at you. I wonder if she would
that
actually.
Was freaky. That was so freaky. Did you? No, I can't talk about that part.
Yeah,
But,
don't.
Is she like Mr.
I need Dan to get to the end because I want to talk about it with you guys. I want to talk about it with both of you.
The only thing I'll say is the ending I got was slightly disappointing. So
I wondered how you'd feel because I know how you felt about like Valkyria Chronicles, and I'm like, I feel like there's a whole lot of build up, and then
that's why I was disappointed.
Yeah,
it's just so. I mean, it's a great game, and I was going to add that as much as I enjoyed it and we enjoyed playing it, it's not one of those games where I'll go back and like, play it again to get different endings or whatever. I can just watch like the last, on YouTube. I'll watch a video of people getting different endings.
Different endings. Yeah, I'm with you there. I get that.
But yeah, it was great. It was just, I don't know why. It must be something about me that I want that big payoff, like investing all this time, investing all this, emotion and learning about these characters. I really want like a nice long cinematic, something that kind of just, you can sit back and then just enjoy, unbuckle your belt, put your hand down no, wait, that's not right. But, just kidding. But, just be able to kind of, take 10 minutes and just watch your decisions unfold in front of you.
Yeah,
rather than just like, hey, 30 seconds, hey, yeah.
I do understand. It depends, I think, on the game and how I felt about all of the characters and how invested I was in it. Because, like, Valkyria Chronicles, to me, that ending did not disappoint me.
And when you said that, I understood what you meant. Because you have all this gameplay, you've sunk hours and hours into this game. You've gotten your money's worth, and I get that.
Yeah, the journey is the destination.
Yeah, exactly.
To sound totally cheesy.
No, that's a good way of putting it.
But
yeah, like this game was essentially a cinematic game. Like it was what I was, you know what I mean? Like it was based on seeing these movies play out and then you kind of pressing buttons here and there.
Like I would compare it to A Way Out. Very similar idea, right? Like you're playing through it and there's not a whole lot of going back and playing through it again because you'll see some minor differences in the dialogue or whatever, but like it's that same kind of concept where like even if the ending wasn't the most amazing part of the game, like the whole game together was a very fulfilling. I feel like a self-help book right now, and I don't like it. I'm a little nauseous, to be honest with you.
You gotta start using those big words now.
I'm a little nauseous. But you know what I mean? Like that's all I can say is the journey is the destination.
No, that's good. Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask you guys one more thing about that. What did you guys think about the whole flowchart aspect of it? People were really bashing it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked being able to see what other people chose, like what my friends chose, what the world kind of, world population, their percentage.
I think that stuff is neat.
Yeah.
Life is Strange had that too. Like at the
Oh,
end
I
of a
didn't know that.
chapter, it would show you all of the decisions that you made versus what everybody else did and like where you ranked in the percentile and all that stuff. And I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, people were saying that it was like it took you out of the story. It was just ruined immersion. I was like, no, it's like ending a chapter. You just kind of
I
see
can
that
see
little
that-
blank part of the chapter and you turn the page.
Yeah, I can see that to a certain extent. Like if you want to go, I think they should have made it. Was it optional or did it pop up automatically?
No, it popped up automatically.
See,
it
I
pops
think it
up, but you don't have to actually really consult it. Like you have to hit a couple buttons to see what the stats are, like in terms of like the world, what they chose and what your friends chose. Like I've been having fun looking at that just because I'm curious to see if we went with a majority on things for now.
Exactly.
But like the flowchart part, I really think that should be optional because, like, what if you can see the 7 other branches that you're like, oh wow, if I had made this decision, this would have been a totally different.
Oh yeah, we did have those
like,
moments too. Oh man, did we miss something? Oh yeah.
And yes, you probably did because there's just so much. There's so much in all of those little scenes, like little things that you could have done, and it was just it's really neat. It's neat. I don't disagree. Someday I might like to play it. I'm gonna wait for it to go down in price though, because I feel like it's going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it might be one of those free games along the way. Beyond Two Souls was like that too.
Right. Like I just don't see, and this is why I didn't jump on it when it was when it's new. I don't see the replay value there, so I think that people are going to play it and get done with it and return it and be done.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those perfect games to go to GameStop, get it pre-owned. You can beat it in less than a week and then return it.
Yeah.
AKA do the Ben.
Yep, do the Ben.
I don't condone that, by the way. GameStop, if you're listening, please sponsor us.
So, anyway, I think we covered Detroit.
Are we still on Now Playing?
We're still on
Jesus
you.
Christ.
Yeah. Did you get it? Didn't you start it with it from over like Redbox?
I rented it. Yeah, I rented it first to see if my wife would dig it or not.
I think Dan has a brick and mortar rental place.
I do. I still have one. There's not many left, but
Dan has the last standing Blockbuster Video.
It's one of my favorite places to buy games too, and it's only in Quebec over here. So,
mm-hmm.
I think it's
and the perk
Quebec.
is it is. the perk is that if I buy a game after I rent it, I get a free rental back too. So it's like kind of that incentive as well. But yeah, so we tried it out on the rental, and then we were convinced enough that we'll want to go through it. So that's why I picked it up at full price, just because again, first game in 19 years.
That was the motivation for me too.
Yeah,
because like Jen said, it's one of those that you should wait to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Not. I mean, it's a great game, but it's not a $60 game because it's not hours of gameplay. It's not like some replayability or anything.
And it's not much of a game. It's
true.
It's quick time events with lots of cinematics, and they're great. Like I don't want to make that sound like a bad thing because it's not. It's just if I'm going to pay full price for a game, I want it. It's got to have more game to it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm unreasonable.
So unreasonable.
I'm so unreasonable. Anyway, are we done with Detroit? Because Ben, I think you need to finish up. You have one very important game I see here that you haven't talked about.
Pooper Metroid?
Yep.
Thanks for the typo, Jen. I mean the correction.
What typo? I don't know what you're talking
I just wanted to mention Overwatch. I'm glad Dan mentioned it again. I'm sure he's mentioned it before, but it's kick-ass. It's one of those that if you have a tight group of friends, you have a guild, a clan, whatever, that's kind of
a posse
stuff. Yeah, a posse, a clique,
a collective,
a platoon.
Yes, a platoon.
Ah, beautiful. Yes, you should get this game. You and your platoon should get this game because it's filling a void that since Destiny rating has been kind of
If you have a virtual cornucopia of assistants to play this game with.
Because it's 6, right? 6 people on a team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's perfect. It's your fire team right there. Your rating team. So, I'm glad we found it. I'm glad we all have it really. So yeah, I'm having a blast with it. I'm really enjoying the support characters and surprisingly the attackers too. So I normally go tank. Oh, actually, never mind. My favorite is Orisa right now, so take it back.
Wiggle butt.
I definitely think that game. There was a while where I used to play a lot of first-person shooter games, and then I hit like a big lull in the action where it just didn't seem like I wanted to play any of those anymore because they were all the same.
Right.
This one has such a different, like, strategical kind of side to it, where if you can't just run into a match with a bunch of tanks. Because you're going to get smoked one way or another by all the little fast-moving guys running around here. You can't run in without a healer or without, a support person that's going to help you out in that way.
Yeah.
So I think that aspect of it's a lot better than what some of the other first-person shooters are out there that are just kind of the same thing
cookie
over and
cutter,
over again all the time.
Just run in Rambo and try to kill everyone and hide.
Yep.
Dan, does this have its own genre? Like, is this a specific kind of game, or is it just an FPS?
Well, it's a thing. It's kind of like an amalgamation of like MOBAs and
what
FPS amalgamation.
I was like, ooh,
yes.
Ben is going to call you out for pulling out the big words.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's got a lot of things going for it.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. Or an amalgam, but
oh shit!
There we go. Shit. Well, I totally lost my train of thought now. What was I saying?
Well, I was asking like what kind of if it had its own genre because it doesn't feel like a normal FPS. So
I don't know. We'd have to Google it. It's kind of got like a bit of that arena feel to it, like the old Unreal games and stuff like that. It's like a mishmash of everything to me.
Gotcha.
And that's what I like about it. It's like it's a lot of like parts of games that we like that all mesh well really together.
So you wouldn't classify it like a little bit as a MOBA?
It's parts of it, just because you're all picking different heroes and that kind of element. You're starting from scratch on every map. Like there's no gear, none of that stuff matters. Like it doesn't play like a MOBA, but there's kind of certain
that's true.
characteristics in the structure of it, I guess. But it's
fun as hell.
Yeah, it really is.
It's ironic that
we're 2 years late, but better late.
I was going to say 2 years late, but it's still. I mean, it feels fresh now.
It was the anniversary weekend, so they had a free weekend, and we were all like, I mean, I'm gonna talk about it again.
They're gonna support it for 20 years. So
I always scoffed at the free weekend stuff. Like, oh my god, like who's actually gonna try that shit? But no, I mean, it makes
Hands
sense.
in the air.
Yeah, no. That's I was totally wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to talk about this again when I get to my now playing. So.
Oh yeah, sorry. So basically, Overwatch was awesome. Having a great time with that. Detroit we talked about. Moonlighter is freaking cool. It is. It's very simple. It's got really nice graphics. Very simple graphics too. How would you describe it, Dan? Jen, sorry. Stardew Valley with I don't know.
With
something.
it's
What's that one game you sent that sounded interesting? I don't remember anymore.
Are you thinking of? I mean, Rune Factory or
yeah, that one.
I would compare it more to. So it's got. It's so hard. I wouldn't even really say it's like Stardew Valley, other than the fact that it goes like day to day.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's an unfair comparison almost because it's not selling it like what it is.
Right.
It's fun.
It is. It's like it's got. So you run a store. And I'm gonna just I'm taking over. I'm gonna explain this.
Yeah. Go for it.
You run a store, and you are in charge of everything with the store. You go and you collect the items from the dungeon. You put them on the little table to sell them. You set the price. You open the store, and people will come in and look at your items and say, like, they'll make a little face. They'll either be like, oh, this is just the right price, or this is too expensive, I'm not going to buy it, or whatever. So you know how to adjust the prices accordingly. And, you sell the items throughout the day, and then at night, you can go to the dungeon and collect more items. So the dungeons are randomly generated. It's kind of got like I would compare it almost to, what is it that I thought it reminded me of? It looks like Enter the Gungeon a little bit, but it's got kind of it's that kind of roguelike, randomly generated look where you go in and there's a bunch of enemies to fight, and it's actually pretty challenging. I find. But you go, the dungeons have multiple floors. I've never been to the end of the first dungeon. Like there are 4 dungeons, and then as you continue, you make more money and get more materials. You can upgrade your gear and get farther in the dungeon, and then get better items and better gear and all that stuff. So you progress.
Have you unlocked the portal yet?
The portal?
Oh
No.
my god, that's a game changer. You need to get to the 3rd floor.
Ooh, yeah. See, I feel like I've been to the 3rd floor, but I haven't done anything on the 3rd floor.
Like, I feel bad for spoiling that part. It's not that big of a spoiler, but it totally changes the game once you get it. Like, it makes it feel so much better and satisfying that you can actually, like, open a portal, go back, restock, and start at that same point.
You can come back. Oh.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
That is huge. But what you do, like, basically you go in and go as far as you can in the dungeon and fill up your inventory and try not to die because you lose everything if you die.
Dark Souls. Totally Dark Souls. Everything's Dark Souls now.
But you have a little pendant that you can, like, pay some money and go back to the exit and then go back to your shop and open it up for the day and sell all your stuff. It's really, I'm a big fan. I haven't played that much of it since the first weekend that I bought it, which was probably last weekend. It feels like it's been ages. But it's a lot of fun. And Ben bought it because I bought it, and I was like, Ben, it's fun, and he is impressionable.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Oh, yeah. I have very...
And I'm going to end up getting it because of Ben. So
my impulse control is horrible. But yeah, I mean, just to be able to move on, definitely check it out. We recommend it. Watch the trailer because you'll be blown away. And if you like those kinds of games, obviously, but it's worth it.
And
It's not that expensive, and it's one of those that it'll, fill the void too.
Yeah, you don't have to think too hard about it. Like, it's a nice time killer, fun little game. If you like things like Stardew Valley, you'll probably be okay with it.
Yeah. And so the other one that I wanted to mention, give a little shout out to, is Jurassic World Alive, which is the basically dinosaur Pokemon Go, and it's fucking amazing. Like, I've stopped playing Pokemon Go. It's different enough that it's piqued my interest, and I mean it's got the same setup. It uses Google Maps, so it's not using the Ingress maps that it used, like the Niantic maps that are pretty famous. But Google Maps still works really well. You essentially try to catch dinosaurs, but you're not throwing Pokeballs at them. You control a drone that basically has to throw darts and extract DNA from the dinosaur that you're trying to catch. And then you were able to take that DNA, and if you accumulate the necessary amount, you're then able to create that dinosaur and add them to your collection. And the big thing is there's PvP with other people. So, you have a team of 4 dinosaurs. You have a team of 8, but 4 of those are randomly picked, and then you can battle against other people. And it's very rock, paper, scissors. There's different kind of dinosaurs, the tanky ones, the armored ones, the DPS ones. And it's just like, it's Pokemon Go, but like it adds a completely other facet to it with the PvP. And it feels like a game. It's not just something that you're going out and, you're just kind of catching and, oh, okay, I caught this. It's not a collecting kind of game. It's actually a game, which is nice. And my kids are crazy about dinosaurs. So, I finally caught a T-Rex is like yellow or gold rarity. So it's super, super hard to catch. And, Daddy has a certain hacked iPhone that's able to travel to exotic places in the blink of an eye. So I've been able to
where T-Rexes live.
Exactly. So I've been shooting darts all over the world, guys, and I've caught a T-Rex, and they're like, "Oh, minds are blown." So I've been having a lot of fun with that game. I've been the paleontologist for the past couple of days with my kids. But yeah, I definitely recommend it if you like Pokemon Go. If you have kids, obviously if they love dinosaurs, they're going to love this game. So check that out. And finally, Super Metroid. I started playing on my little SNES classic.
Yeah, one of your long list of homework items.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it is incredibly. It's good. It's satisfying to play. I'm enjoying it. I can also. I think it's fair to say also that the nostalgia factor is a big deal here because obviously you guys have played it when it was kind of fresh and big and it's. it's just with all the games that I do want to play that I have on my list, it's kind of sometimes like, oh man, should I be playing this right now? Or it's not. I don't have that thing.
The
Yeah, I don't
answer
have
to
that- yes.
Super Metroid is always yes.
Always.
Fair enough.
Well then.
Like there are not a whole lot of things that I'll say that about, but like Super Metroid is always yes. Just talking to you about it today earlier, I was like, I want to play.
Fair enough. Well, I mean,
I want to play.
Too, yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, oh wow, this was out for SNES. I was always playing, Super Mario World, and I mean, Zelda's obviously the classic too. But yeah, this is something I missed that I really shouldn't have. That kind of just fell through the cracks there. But it's great.
I remember when it came out, man. They had a feature in Nintendo Power for it, and it had like a map of part of Criterion,
Criterion?
and part of Brinstar and Norfair. And I wore those pages out. They were falling out of the magazine because
what
I
were you
looked at them
doing
so
to
many
them?
times.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sticking together and
Dude, I do
Wait.
not have that ability to like
you didn't
emit
lick your fingers to make sure you can
things.
separate the pages?
Oh my gosh, shut up. Josh.
You have that ability. There's a tongue.
No. Just shush. Done. Bloop. Zoop. Zip it. But anyway, I will not continue this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's it for my now playing, guys. And to be fair, we were all contributing there. I wasn't just talking. So
Ben, we always contribute to mine too.
that's true. No. Yeah, and we never complain about yours either. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I wasn't complaining. I just think it's nice that somebody else has the long now playing section this time. So for me, the usual suspects: Stardew Valley, Fortnite, Monster Hunter, dabbling back in that now, Rocket League, the usuals. Dipping my toe into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, very slowly progressing that story. Me. So far, it hasn't really blown my socks off.
Oh no!
It's not bad. It's just
It got negative, or not negative, but it got on the negative side, right?
mediocre-ish.
Mediocre
Yeah,
reviews.
not
word.
super awesome. It did not Xenoblade. What was the one on Wii U? Xenoblade Chronicles X or something? I don't know. The one on
Amalgamation.
Wii U grabbed me and wouldn't let go. I put hundreds of hours into that, but this one I'm just eventually. Did you notice that I just ignored him? I don't even know what he said.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation.
Of Xenoblade.
But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just really isn't doing it for me. That could just be
Oh.
me. Could just be me. Rex
Xenoblade Zions.
Rex is very perky, and I don't dislike him as a character, but
Was this a remaster, you said? Or
no, this is actually a new story.
Oh, okay.
This
All
is
right,
a brand
to be fair.
spanking.
That's a shame then. I hate when that happens.
I mean, maybe it'll get in. Maybe it'll get more interesting. It's just, it doesn't feel like Xenoblade Chronicles to me. I don't know. The first two had this very distinctive battle style that if you've played, you would recognize all the icons along the bottom, and you had to, they were different colors based on the type of ability it was, and they would light up, and you would know which one to do next to chain things. This isn't really like that, and it just doesn't feel the same to me. I don't know. That's probably nitpicky, and I know that they can't do the same thing every time forever, or it gets stale, but
Well, I think the mediocre reviews are kind of supporting what you're saying then too.
yeah, I don't know. It's not
That's a
doing
shame.
it. Moonlighter, we just talked about that.
What kind of game is that, Jen?
Oh, please rewind about 5 to 10 minutes to get that explanation again.
Explanation.
And Overwatch, which
Mercy. Oh,
I played Overwatch years ago when it came out.
I didn't know you were one of the OGs. Huh.
No, I played the beta. I played it before it came out.
Oh,
So I
wow.
played
Played it
the
before it was
beta.
cool.
Yeah, I played before. It was cool. Sunglasses on.
Oh my God.
Sassy look. But I played the beta.
So sassy.
So sassy. And it was one of those, like, did not, at that time, I didn't know any of you guys, and I didn't really have a good group of people.
I was going to ask if you had a platoon.
I did not have a platoon that was very good for, like,
Active.
Were you
Active platoon.
were you in a certain mustachio situation back then?
there was that too.
Did that mustache play at all, or no?
No.
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 Well, yeah, that sucks then. Yeah, playing solo is that game. Well, that's something we should mention actually. Playing solo, it's really, I don't know about you guys, but I hate it.
I don't hate it. It can be frustrating. It depends on what you're doing.
That's true. I guess as a healer, you're just kind of splooging everywhere with your beams there, but
Right. It's not the same. Yeah.
That's the most
it's
poetic thing you've ever said, Ben. I love that.
not the same.
you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Illusion everywhere with your beams.
I mean, that's what it looks like, and it's fucking amazing because it's like, hey, you're behind that wall. Look what I can do.
Just gonna spray a little bit over there and a little bit over here, and
Yes.
You need help, sploosh.
So, oh God, and it's so fitting for me, isn't it?
Mora's got the splooge ball there too.
But if anybody was curious, back when I played the beta, I tried out a few characters. One of them was Zarya. That's all I remember. I think I may have tried Tracer because she was like the face of Overwatch, and I just didn't find anything that I liked. And the person that I played with, I was like, he was the only guy who played on PC anyway, so it would have been me and him, and just none of that would have worked out very well, right?
Was it Papa Woot?
It was not. I don't.
Shout out to Papa Woot.
I'm not the Papa Woot
Jen's
person.
ally.
I'm the
But
Papa
he
Woot
is.
person.
He is my ally. He's in my corner, and I appreciate his services.
What were we fighting about last time? That he
You're
was so
a corner.
rudely interjected?
About Overwatch.
It was
Yeah, right?
Overwatch.
You son of a bitch. I heard that
backed-
clap.
he
You
backed
don't
me
clap
up.
here. How dare you?
how dare you excited clap at my
I don't want to hear that
dojo.
satisfaction.
Anyway, I have found though that my niche is
Niche.
my niche.
That's how we say it here at Hardcore Casuals.
Okay, fair enough. My niche is the support character class.
Oh, yeah.
Token
preferably
healer.
healing.
Token healer.
I mean, yeah, you are
Do
absolutely.
I have to
healing.
be the token healer?
No,
Oh,
just
yeah, what-
because I can say it.
I don't
Therefore you are.
I don't want to be the token healer. You got them elite heals though. Man, I love it. I do. Most possibly expectedly, I like Mercy, but I also like Moira. And I've had some fun with Lucio as
I
well.
love
Oh,
Lucio.
nice! I didn't know you
I
tried
really
it.
dig him.
Yeah, Lucio's pretty cool. Lucio's a little different because he's more of a passive heal. Like Mercy, you are the healer. Like you chase people around and you splooge on them with your heal beams.
Hey, but you
With your
did get a
token
kill with your
heal
pea shooter, didn't you? At some point.
Yes,
Did you
which is like the most.
you right? Are you rated on that D-pad and?
Oh my
some
god,
peas.
it is the most probably insulting way to die is to be killed by Mercy and that little tiny blaster. Pew pew pew. Yes.
Do you play as a
Caduceus
healer
Blaster.
for attacking and defending as well, or do you have another? Do you like go out of the support classes? I can't remember.
I really
No,
don't.
Nice.
Token healer.
Look,
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
you can say that, and I know you can't see the finger wiggle. that's
Oh, I
going
know
on
it's
right now.
there. I know it's there.
I know you can't see it. Can you
I was
sense it?
fully aware of it.
The finger is palpable.
See, all this token healing, and she has a cold right now. Can't even heal herself. Gosh.
What a scrub.
Orbital thing. Oh, but you guys made me think about that. I think why I like it so much, other than being able to play with you guys and have that camaraderie again, is it feels like playing an RPG, but having it in like 10-minute bursts, which is unheard of. Normally if you want to play WoW, you want to play an instance, you're going to go to Final Fantasy 14, whatever, you have to you're sinking a good hour at least. But it has that. It's different. It's not just an FPS.
Wow, a good hour? What? Try 100.
I think he's talking about at a stretch.
Hashtag humble brag.
Which, again, for Dan is like 100.
Oh, just wow.
I'm in my basement for days. Never leave.
Yeah.
You don't see the sunlight for weeks.
A former
I don't
life.
even know what day it is.
But I think, good Lord, I don't know what I just did. For me, the thing about Overwatch that I like is it's that team-based, first-person shooter, all PvP thing that I never really liked. But it has this element to it of everybody has a job.
Yeah, the roles, right.
Yeah, you're not just, oh, I'm a warlock and I'm a titan and I'm a hunter and we all do basically the same thing.
And I can survive slightly longer than you, and I can heal a little bit of your health when you need to. Right.
Yeah. But Overwatch, I'm a healer, and I know that my job is to make sure that Soldier 76 over here doesn't keel over while he's trying to take down Diva, who's attempting to self-destruct her mech in the middle of our shit, right? So
the DPS splooge. Yeah.
So I've been enjoying it more than I thought I would. I did not expect to play Overwatch and like it, but I am officially now a huge fan.
Yay!
So what's going to happen now is that we're going to have this moment where Jen's going to be playing as Moira later, and the healing spooge is going to come around, and we're all just going to bust out laughing.
Splooge! That's going to be my new. That's going to be
you need a
new call out, yeah.
my battle cry. Splooge! Stand still and let me splooge you!
Splooge! Yellow splooge!
Which is the
You get a
biggest
splooge.
problem.
And you get a splooge.
The biggest
Everyone
problem
gets
with
a splooge.
Moira is that nobody wants to stand still and let me splooge them.
Oh, her stuff doesn't go through walls, right?
Right. And it doesn't lock on. Like Mercy, her little beam tracks people, it locks onto somebody and then they can run around the corner and it stays with them. But Moira is just a straight beam. So it's
Does it heal for more then at least, or?
Kind of.
We'll have to test this.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it really does more.
I will allow it to be splooged on.
It's just they're just very different characters because Moira
For the sake
has
of science.
Oh my gosh, that's Moira's thing, science.
Oh my god.
She's definitely in for the sciencey spooge.
Yep, science. Yeah, I don't remember. She has a line. about
Biology?
science.
So Dan, we're gonna need you to somehow mix in a 2 hours later kind of thing.
An eternity later.
One eternity
Yeah, that one.
later.
I don't even know how long we've been recording, but we just finished now playing.
Yes, we did. It's been an hour. Well, it's actually been 40 minutes ish because we didn't start until the 19-minute mark. So, moving on. Let's talk about something that's actually a topic.
Excited clap. Moving on.
Yes.
No, that was more of a dismissive clap. Excited
talk
clap.
about
Excited clap is a little faster.
Anyway.
Moving on for real.
Battlefield Vagina.
Battlefield 5. The
Battlefield
controversy.
5 Gina.
You didn't hear it here first, but you're hearing it here now. The
Yes.
official controversy. So, I feel like we probably all have a very similar opinion on this, right?
I
So
think that's a safe assumption.
And if, dear listeners, you happen to live under a rock and you haven't seen this anywhere,
Or you have a differing opinion.
or you have a differing opinion, this
Yeah, you
should
get
be
to
an
sit on that
interesting
rock and
conversation
rotate.
for you. Battlefield 5 is getting some backlash right now. And
Maybe some heat?
some heat.
Couple
Get
of
some
hot
heat.
takes.
Some menopausal heat, maybe?
Because OMG, the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to a video game about war has happened. There are female characters.
But realisms.
My historical accuracy. Oh God. The day that announcement was made, I was reading because I troll the comment threads. That's what I do. Not troll. I don't troll as in comment and harass people, but I peruse the comment sections. And I shouldn't because it stresses me out and upsets me. But I do it anyway because apparently I like the pain. But the day that this announcement came out, I was reading the comments section on one of these articles like Polygon or Kotaku or something, and people were like, I shouldn't say people.
Boycott. Yeah. They're not people. Well, they're people.
Neckbeards.
Neckbeards. Thank you.
Sweaty nerds.
Coming out of the woodwork. And the excuse, like, I'm sorry that the expectation that you had for Battlefield 5 was that World War II would be the 100% recreation of that situation for you, right down to the female side of things. Which actually, I think I was reading that some of the armies did have women on the battlefield. Maybe not all of the armies, and maybe not as widespread as it's going to be in Battlefield 5, now that you can actually choose it as a gender. But the excuse of historical accuracy is like, I'm sorry. You don't get to use that to complain about giving us the option of having women characters. You just don't.
Well, let me defend them by saying that she has a steampunk arm. So no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh! Could you feel the heat? Like, I was doing. You know how Diva like hunkers down in the middle and starts glowing when she's about to explode. Like that was what was about to happen right here. Like,
nerf this.
Nerf this.
Oh my god! Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little out of hand with these guys. Just. You can't get on a battlefield and stick someone with a syringe and have them magically pop back up. I mean,
yeah, that's too.
Yeah, like so let's if you're going to complain about that, yeah, let's complain about all of the other realism. You died and you got back up.
Infinite ammo with your tank or your plane.
I mean, I'm a support class and I carry around an ammo crate, on my back? Did I have it up my butt? I mean, where was I holding that thing? Come on.
None of the guns ever jam in video games.
Yeah, like you just can't, no.
Well, I think that the whole rallying behind where they're coming from is Battlefield, their pride and their mantra has always been to strive to be the most historically accurate. They're always trying to distance themselves from Call of Duty and how it's just kind of chaos. But Battlefield has always been open, really, really open maps, trying to replicate the scenery, everything, the actual battles, and so they're trying to say that, hey, you're going to try to tell a story here, but it's not going to be a real story anymore. There's not going to be any realism or any believability to these stories that you have because there are vaginas on the field now, and there weren't before.
Oh no, vaginas!
So,
this field's full of vaginas.
Oh, sorry, vagina.
I have to fan myself. You said the V word.
Vagina. But yeah, it's a little bit.
Ridiculous.
I'm infuriated. A little.
The impression that I got was that the story piece, because it's still going to have the campaign, right? As far as I know, I think it still has the campaign.
Oh yes,
the campaign is going to be not. Like if it's a story about a female, then it's going to be a female. If it's not, it's not, right? But the multiplayer is where you get to make the choice if you want to actually be a female character, which to me is like, that's a non-issue. You're not telling a historical or a historical documentary about an actual soldier when you're in multiplayer. Yeah. You're telling your story. So if you want to be a female on the battlefield, then do it. Right? And get over yourself. It's like, it just makes me insane. And it's like every time you think you get past this, and I'm not a crazy feminazi or feminist or anything. Like I'm not militant like that, but like this bothers me because it's just every time you think you get past it, they all come out of the woodwork again like, ugh.
It feels like it's Gamergate 2.0. Like it's the boys' clubs being threatened. How dare we impede on this?
What was Gamergate?
Well, the whole blowback against what I'm drawing a blank on her name, the female games journalist and all that. Like the anti-feminist movement in games, like is essentially what it came up to be.
Oh God!
It's dumb. It's immature. It shows that we're more backwards than we think we are as a society, and I find like it's just cheap and annoying.
Well, and I follow. I know you guys do too, but I love these guys. Layman Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 days ago, they made a video on this, which was interesting. I don't necessarily agree with everything they said, but they made a good point in that the reason this is blowing up the way it is because the DICE basically came out. The developers said that one of them tweeted out saying that he needs to be on the right side of history, and that he does. He basically can't face his daughter, who's always asking, who's a gamer, and asking, am I able to play as a female in the video games. He wasn't able to face her, if that wasn't going to be an option with this amazing game that they're developing. And so they're saying basically that they could have just easily have said, this is going to be our story of World War II, but it's going to be an alternate version of this. We're not trying to replicate. We're not trying to do the Battlefield formula that we always do and go for authenticity and everything. But I don't agree with that. I mean, I think they're doing a great job defending how they are defending. And, they were saying that they got a social justice warrior vibe from the people who are mad about this, which I don't necessarily agree with that. But anyway, hopefully that made sense.
I think it did.
Crickets.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that as a justifiable. As a justification either. Like, I have a daughter and I want her to be able to play as a female.
Yeah.
There you go. People have worse reasons for things.
Yeah.
And these are probably the same guys that play, other fantasy playing as females because, hey, they like the way they look or whatever reason. But, God forbid we have a female here and I need to now.
Heaven forbid there's a physics lesson.
And I don't even think that's going to be an issue because I would imagine they're not going to send them out there in Final Fantasy style rubber band armor, I don't think that's how this is going to be.
Oh, God.
That would be
they're not
kind of hilarious in its own way.
Platoon of Urza Scarlets.
That would be
my realism.
I actually think, like, part of me morbidly wants to see that happen just to see what it looks like. You have all these men in their full, like, World War II uniforms, and then this girl just comes dancing out in, like, a little silk slip thing. Like, what is that?
Bikini chainmail.
Exactly. Is that armor? What is that?
The pre-order bonus is going to be about a bulletproof bikini or something. That would be so freaking sweet.
Anyway, I knew that was going to be like a mini rant for me because it just.
Well, it's so dumb. It's stupid. It shouldn't be an issue.
Right. Like,
Agreed.
I don't know. And we've never talked about, like, nudity in gaming in general and like armor realisticness and all that kind of stuff with whatever.
Jen's ready for all that, Gerald.
Who?
I'm
Who's
sorry
Gerald?
now.
Oh, that's right.
Look.
Yellow splooch. Blue splooch. Yellow splooch.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving right along.
If you have any comments, please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, I really hope that we haven't just alienated all of our gargantuan fan base.
That's okay if we did screw them.
Yeah, like, if you're really mad about this...
Yep, you got issues.
Feel free to message me. We'll have a chat.
Feel free to unsubscribe.
We
Go take
will
a shower,
have
you sweaty
a
nerds.
chat. Oh. All right. So, setting that aside, let's talk about Battle Royale briefly. So,
yeah, what's
Seems
going on
very
with that?
royal.
What's going on with that lawsuit?
royal. So, I don't really know. And I don't know that anybody does because it's really hard when you're looking it up to get an actual account of what exactly the lawsuit is. So for anybody who is not aware, PUBG, the developers of PUBG, are suing the developers of Fortnite.
Which is funny because they're actually the same parent company.
I know, it is really funny how you, like, PUBG kind of borrowed from, I think, H1...
H1N1? Yep.
Z1N1, whatever. And then Fortnite kind of borrowed from PUBG, and they're all pretty similar in ways.
Well, PUBG is paying to use the
engine,
Unreal 4
right?
engine to create its game. And Fortnite, a few months or years later, has now decided to create using its own engine, but also make a Battle Royale mode. So this is, I believe this is where it's stemming from, is basically you have, I don't know, conflict of interest or something, or you've basically taken advantage and created competition in your own terms, whereas, we are paying you to use this and you're just, using your own property to kind of steal our idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I can't really figure it out. Like, the comments on these articles are very conflicting as far as what people are saying is the actual issue. Like, people are talking about it relates to the advertising of the game more than the actual game itself. And some
you're right.
saying,
I'm reading an article right now, and it says not much is known about the specifics of the claims or the case because neither party was willing to comment on it. So
it's kind of.
Although, if you ever want to know, just go into a random thread and post something about saying that Fortnite is better than PUBG or vice versa.
Oh my gosh!
And then
the
just
war.
Sit back, get your popcorn ready.
It is crazy. People it is like, I've never seen anything that gets more heated than a conversation about PUBG versus Fortnite.
I like my realism, but I also like building shit.
Oh my gosh. The building aspect ruins this game genre.
Nobody could build a building that fast.
Oh my goodness me. It's
female characters.
But But I think it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Like, I think they're different enough.
That guy's umbrella would go upside down if he was falling out of it, bust that high in the sky.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, not to mention the fact that the bus is attached to a hot air balloon being propelled across the map. Like
a directional hot air balloon.
It's just, like, I think we should probably just put the realism aside, Like, okay, guys, it's going to be fine. But I think I don't know how I feel. I think it's kind of silly. The problem that I see is that it feels on the surface, without knowing the details of the case, it feels like PUBG is looking at Fortnite, and Fortnite has gained some real steam. People like it, and PUBG's kind of dropping off a bit, right?
Yeah.
So
lawsuit aside, sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
Oh, I was just saying, lawsuit aside, it's essentially PUBG realizing that they can't keep, working on this game or milking this game that's not even. Is it fully released yet? I think
PUBG? I don't think so, and neither is Fortnite, though.
PUBG is.
But
you can buy PUBG for Xbox.
Yeah, but it's still, when you buy it for
still
Xbox, it still sells open beta on it.
No, does it?
So does Fortnite, though.
They're realizing that they can't just keep milking this extremely buggy game, which I have to say I'm glad I didn't purchase on PC because, man, it is losing its player base so hard because they're not improving this.
Like Epic Games is taking Fortnite and they maintain it and they made it clean and it's not buggy and they keep adding new content and it's like they're pouring all this effort into this game, whereas PUBG is like this buggy mess of a thing that hasn't really changed much since it came out.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're panicking basically. They're realizing that okay, we know we've kind of gotten lazy, scratching our balls here, trying to cash in these checks, but now there's a competitor that's really taking away our player base because we haven't put the time to finish this thing, and so now they're trying to take a slice of that pie, but not realizing that it's going to bite them in the ass because
right, and that's that's exactly how it feels. And granted, we don't know what the lawsuit actually is. It could be something totally different, but it's like all of the clickbait titles and all of the gaming sites and all of that have taken it and turned it into this monster of a thing.
I think the one thing that's going to be the key, I mean, I know whenever PUBG came out, the big thing was about all the realism and being able to, have real weapons and have some general ideas of parachuting into an area and being able to use the vehicles. But they left them, they really pigeonholed themselves into a spot where I think if you look at all the things together, they may even want to kind of cut their losses and even kind of take the Fortnite route, because, Fortnite hit the end of one of their rounds and then, or one of their seasons, and then they like, all right, we're going to add in, 3 guns. And then we're going to add in, this one item here and there. I mean, and they jokingly refer to the fact that they added their first vehicle, which was a shopping cart.
The shopping cart's a vehicle?
It is.
Yeah.
You can have one person in front riding in it and one person in the back pushing it. And you can push people down hills at your enemies. So if you have people that are down in the valley and you have one of the shopping carts, you can chuck the shopping cart with one of your players in it down the hill to go try to attack somebody that's down towards that level. So
that's fucking awesome.
But it's just the creativity stuff like that. I mean, they've got different guns. They've got suppressed guns. They've got guns that are, relatively real. But then they've added like a minigun. Yeah, they had the Thanos thing. They've got
that you're right. Like I totally agree with that. Like they went with a way that they can do more fan service stuff like that. That's more open to it, and the fact it's free to play too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They've got things going for them that PUBG's gonna have a hard time catching up to if they ever do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of, I feel like the genre in general is going to play itself out eventually.
Yeah.
But I did, and I realize I'm like forcing my way into this right now, but I'm segueing myself into this conversation because I encountered a battle royale game that I think is actually kind of interesting.
Oh, really?
The same guy who was streaming Detroit streamed this game the other day called Darwin Project. And I think it's relatively new, but it's a battle royale game where there's only like 12 players or something in this arena, and it's like shaped like it's like honeycombs. So there's like 6 around the outside and 1 in the middle. So those are your zones, and it's cold, so you have to worry about keeping yourself warm. You only have a bow and arrow and an axe. And you have to go and like cut down trees so you can make more arrows, and you have to hunt. There's animals that you can hunt so you can get the leather and make armor or better boots or what have you, so you can run faster and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot. It's like got all these different pieces to it. And then there's someone called the director. So it's presented like a game show for the people who are watching. And the director is in charge of the show, right? So he can seal off sectors. He can make people invincible. He can put resources out there for people to go and...
It's like the Hunger Games.
Kind of.
Or like
yeah.
Smash TV.
That's kind of cool.
It's neat. It's fun to watch.
Good luck. You'll need it.
And
exactly.
The viewers can vote. Like, he can put stuff out there for, do we want to seal off this sector or this sector? Or do we want to do, who's the crowd favorite? What do we want to do?
Well, that actually feels like the next logical step for this genre, actually.
It's really, I thought it was really interesting to watch. I watched him stream it for hours. I was like...
Well, yeah, piggybacking on that, I mean, with the popularity that this genre has, I mean, Ninja is like breaking records left and right. With his, his Twitch streams, with Drake, the whole thing with Drake, even other Twitch streamers are breaking Ninja's records now too. I mean, it really feels like that's the next step because the audience is what's really giving this so much traction. People are, there are, how am I trying to say this? There are just as much people watching it as there are playing, so it's interesting.
But yeah, if I haven't looked into it to see, like, I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, but I don't. No.
Oh, it's out already. The game's out?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I haven't really looked into it. Let's actually just Google it real quick here. Darwin Project on Steam. It's got a 9 out of 10 rating. It is out, it looks like. It's an early access game. And it's free to play. Oh snap. I didn't know that.
Is it just PC?
Guys.
It is PC. Yeah, it's on Steam. Unfortunately. I feel like it's the kind of thing, though, that could eventually come to console. But I
What
don't
if
know
the
how
correct
the director stuff with the audience kind of thing would work. Unless maybe I wasn't really understanding how that was working, but it's really, I feel like it's actually kind of a unique take on the genre. So honestly, I would say if you are interested in battle royale games, check it out. It's free to play.
Installing right
Oh
now.
yeah, definitely sounds. Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
Yay!
Bandwagoners.
Jen is the new trendsetter here.
Excited clap for realsies.
Sensei Jen approved.
Yeah, right. Sensei Jen.
Yeah, I didn't play it, so I couldn't tell you how it actually controls and what it feels like, but just watching it, it looked like it was pretty solid.
Now, Sensei Jen, how many mushroom stamps out of 5 would you give it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to use the mushroom stamps. Aren't those Sensei Dan's mushroom stamps?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Ben. He's the
How many
specialist.
how many glass ladles would you give it out of 5?
I mean, just from being just from watching, I would give it 3.5 out of 5 glass ladles.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to even play it or be participant of that whole audience.
Yeah,
aspect of it, too.
honestly, like if you play it and hate it, tell me. But it looks good, so I'm kind of interested in seeing how that is. And maybe if we're all going to install it, I might install it too. Because we can maybe. I don't know if we could play together. It's like every man for himself. It's a battle royale for real. It doesn't do teams, so I don't really know how that would be as a group activity. Although we play against each other and have fun doing that. So.
Bragging rights.
Like Josh versus Buddy Street Fighter, right?
Yeah. Jen versus Dan Nidog.
Oh my gosh.
That's
fucking
one
bow
that we
and
should
arrow.
test out from time to time.
I remember that first match where I just waxed him across the floor.
Oh my god.
It was just impeccable. It was beautiful.
It was
Never got my ass kicked so hard.
It was glorious, you might even say. All right, so one last thing before we're done here to keep us on track. Does anybody have closing thoughts on Battle Royale? I realize I hijacked it into Darwin Project, but
Oh, you're good. I've got some mixed feelings on it, just because, I think that the battle royale genre itself has done well, and I think that it's a kind of a good crowd favorite for a good bit there. But I'm really worried the fact that now, like, the next, like, Call of Duty game is trying to run their own battle royale style setup, and it's just, I'm worried that it's going to be that instance where everybody's going to take it way too far.
like zombies for a while there,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
everything was zombies.
Yes.
I hear you.
You know?
I'm there with you. I feel like that kind of, the Call of Duty kind of thing is they see the money floating in the sky. Like, people like this. So if we put this in our game, it's gonna be awesome. Like, that's what's happening there, and I don't know
It's
that
the
I like it
same
either.
thing was with MMOs too, and the zombie games. Like, everyone, this is making money now. Let's try to do something better, and ultimately fail at it.
Right. I mean, who knows? This is how the evolution of things happens, right? So maybe it'll work out. Maybe somebody will put out a really good one that'll just be like the...
It's Activision though. It's fucking Activision.
I'm not
And
saying
they're-
that Call of Duty is going to be that game. I'm saying,
Oh yeah.
There's opportunities.
No, I feel you. I'm just saying that it's gonna suck. They're gonna make it suck.
Probably.
I'm kind of surprised that Battlefield didn't have one, but I think that might be a smart move.
Speaking
Kinda-
of Activision.
I
though,
agree.
Activision.
Speaking of Activision. Let's...
Oh, I see where this is going.
Let's, yeah, that was a good segue, even if he didn't mean to do it. The last thing before we close out here.
Was it today that did it just released or yesterday?
It came out today, right?
Yeah, I think it-
it did.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Tuesday.
I didn't get
June
to
5th.
watch it, but I'm going to
Oh,
rely
wow.
on you guys to tell me what's up. So we're on the Destiny 2, and I'm doing air quotes, hype train.
I'm going to tell you, out of all the stuff that I saw, the one thing that I thought was actually pretty cool had to be the
Bow and arrow.
PvP mix-up, mash-up mode
Yeah, agreed.
that I think was a really interesting idea that nobody really kind of put together before. And I'm actually kind of interested to see that. Now, I mean, my kid still plays Destiny religiously, so I will be on that train of buying the expansion because my kid will want to play it, and he has a group of kids that plays with him. So whether or not I want to get it, or if I
that's
get back
important
into
to keep
I'll get
going
there.
for him too. It's nice to have
because if it's something that he gets into and he's enjoying the games, and it's nothing that's going to ruin all that. But the mode that they were talking about today that really caught my interest is a 4v4 mode, very similar to how you set up like trials, where you get the little spot at the beginning where you can kind of emote and do silly crap with each other to see who you're playing against. And then it locks each of you into your own separate area. That's kind of like the Challenge of the Elders. Or Prison of the Elders, where you have like waves of stuff coming at you. But in those areas, they're going to start releasing these PvE enemies, and as you kill them, they drop these little like motes of light that you can collect all these and put them into these areas that like these little like receptacles that are out there. And as you complete these or fill up these receptacles, it'll launch a stronger enemy into your opponent's arena.
Ooh, that is actually kind of interesting.
And it locks their receptacle too, so they're no longer able to collect unless they defeat that enemy.
So it's like puzzle Tetris versus where you fill in all the lines and.
But where they blurred all of it, and there's a PvP section, is apparently there's one of the receptacles that you can either pick to lock down a receptacle and launch other stronger enemies into your opponent's area, or you can split your motes into a different area and launch them into another receptacle. It opens a portal that you can jump your players into their area and attack the other players while they're attacking the enemies in their portal, in their area. So you can like invade their side of the map and kill them. Yeah, I think one person is able to get through there. But if you've got somebody with a heavy weapon set, you can just jump over there and just obliterate all of them with a homing rocket or something like that, and just
the payoff is if you manage to kill them all, you steal a chunk of their stuff too. Because the end goal is to completely fill up your receptacle to summon a what do they call it? Like some primal or some like mega mini boss that you have to like a raid boss almost.
Yeah.
And once you defeat them, you win that round.
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's a really interestingly thought up idea. Like whenever they were talking about it, I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty smart little setup. I did see that they were talking about some of the other stuff, like one of the issues before on D1 was people didn't want to grind to get different rolls on different weapons. And so in D2, every weapon was the same, and then they started kind of trying to do the master class thing where you could adjust some of your weapon. And now they're talking about like even full bore, like being able to customize the weapon slots on your weapon. So if you wanted to make your own roll with something that was awesome, or kind of go back to, I guess, weapon tiering from the first one, you have that opportunity of kind of really customizing a weapon that's set for you. So looks like they're at least trying to get into some of the things that people had issues with before. They've actually announced that there will be a brand new enemy for the first time since the Taken King. Just to give you another idea there. So, and there's supposed to be another raid and some other things like that, new area to go after. It all looks interesting. I really hope that whenever this comes through, that it gets people back in there, and it's like, Taken King from D1 that everybody came back around to.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not holding my breath. And like I said, I pre-referenced all this by saying that, hey, worst comes to worst, my kid's probably going to play it. So
yeah,
I
at
think
least you'll get to see it that way.
Yeah, I think
Watch
they've got
it.
a lot of balls asking $70 for another annual pass on top of the season's pass and all that. They're asking for a lot of money for.
Is that your money or our money?
No, that's your money. That's not even
Holy
Canadian.
smokes,
Yeah,
'cause I didn't
so
look at the
full game plus season pass plus $40 to buy that, or the annual pass, which is $70, which gives you all the content into 2019.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I felt.
That is like a
I
whole
watched this-
nother Destiny 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they don't, goddamn it, fix the game, then they can take that $70 and, well, no, I'm going to take that $70 and hold on to it, but they can take their game and shove it somewhere.
I mean, I was watching that 9-minute video. It was great, and it was painful at the same time because I'm seeing these game developers, these real people here with these jobs that they're actually passionate about developing and everything, and they're describing this game that they've worked their ass off on, and you can see it in their faces. They are trying so hard to just sell their work and sell their time, and it's kind of sad because this game could have been so much better. It's just that goddamn Activision model that they have. That's just they're so fucking greedy, and they're running this game to the ground like they've done with Guitar Hero, like they've done with everything that they've touched, really.
Yeah, they just announced that today that they killed that franchise off officially.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
It just failed completely because it was another layman gaming episode, but Guitar Hero Live, which was their latest
which
iteration,
was horrible. Oh my god, it was
you
so
bought
bad.
the game, you couldn't play the songs that you wanted to, but you could buy a daily pass for like $10 to be able to play the songs that you wanted, and then after 24 hours, you'd have to go back to just a random playlist, and it was unbelievable, and that's kind of like what it's happening with Destiny, but this is so good. I mean, it can be like the Taken King again. They're adding the new bow weapon, which is why would you want to choose this over an automatic weapon? They kind of joke about it, but it looks really interesting. And the new enemy, the Scorn, they actually look pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to go watch the trailer.
if
I
it was
am
just
so not sold on it though.
Yeah,
No, I know.
it's the paywall behind it that call me cheap, but like we got burned hard on the game so far, and it's like they've got a lot of trust to earn back before I spend any more of my money on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to see some serious, hardcore, good reviews come out of that.
Yep.
Because, like I said today, the burn from the first round still hurts a little bit. It's like.
No, that's true. I mean, I was going to say, like, I can feel myself getting hyped for it, and I'm actually kind of excited. But this happened before. This happened with Destiny 2. This happened with Destiny 2 in their first expansion, which was an utter mess, apparently. I didn't play it, but the Osiris one was really bad.
Yep.
A lot of people did not like it.
I tried to get back into it, after my kid trying to hype me up about it. I think I played through 3 or 4 of the story missions, and I was kind of like,
Well, that was the whole expansion, wasn't it?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the big criticisms is that, you got nothing there. It's baked ideas lately and, charging a full expansion price for it when it's just, a raid layer, not a full raid. It's, little piecemeal stuff and half-baked ideas that don't really work. But, I'm very pessimistic.
Yeah.
If it ends up great, if it ends up being the second Taken King and it makes it an amazing game and everyone's back, great.
Good.
Fantastic.
I miss it.
But my expectation is, exactly. Same here. We all met with that game. Like if that's what happens, fantastic. But I'm really, really, really not getting my hopes up.
Yeah. I don't want it to be bad. I just don't expect it to be good.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Even if it's good, it's got to be amazing for me to want to shell out to get it because I have to get the season's pass to be able to even get that too. If you take a look at the end of the video and the little fine print, it requires expansion pass 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So you're looking at 100+ just
to take a chance.
Get caught up.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I can get other games that I'll get. Monster Hunter cost me $60 and I've been playing hundreds of hours and I'm still in it 6 months later, playing it right now as we record.
Yeah.
It's just leaves a bitter taste if, this looks so cool, but we need you to pay the price of an entire new game again.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And it's like it is also one of those things too. And Ben brought up watching the video and seeing all the guys that are like the programmers and the developers that are like doing this stuff. And It was so weird because if you look at some of those guys, half of those guys look like they're like deer in the headlights, like scared of what's going on.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And the
with
other
good
half of them,
reason.
and the other half of them were like super excited about it. So it's like you're not sure which side of the axe those guys are going to be on. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be Activision. It's like these guys have great ideas. I mean, it's Bungie. They've made magic with games, and like they have great ideas. But it's like, okay, you guys, we need to have a 10-year plan. So, take this idea, cut it into 16 pieces, and we're going to release each piece every couple months as an expansion. We're not going to take your ideas and just sell it like it is because that's giving free content away, and we can make money off of this. So we're going to make this shit suck because we can cash in. And I mean, I feel like Destiny.
Whereas I'm swearing at Monster Hunter for dropping a big free content patch on me when I wasn't expecting it.
Right. And their stuff is always like it's the same quality as all of their other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what went wrong, but they derailed it, and it is going to take a lot of work to get back on the tracks.
And it's happened so much now that we're just conditioned to, Destiny 2, this is how we feel. We feel this way because...
a joke.
Yeah.
It is basically a joke.
Yeah, I really hope that through all the hours of gameplay in D1 that we all put in, the weekly nights of playing through raids that we've been through, 20 times just because we got a good opportunity to play through, get new stuff, but then also like joking around about things or messing around with people, or even like the whole
there goes Flawless Raider.
There goes Flawless Raider. Dragging people in that actually hadn't had the opportunity to go through the raid, that stuff. That was fun. I do wish that there's going to be an opportunity to get back to that, but I really think that if this come September, we'll find out. But if they miss on this, that's going to be it. I mean, there's so much. I got to remember, and I'll try to find the article and see if we can share it out for you guys. But there was an article that I was just briefly running through, and it was basically saying that, what was the one Chinese company that's trying to give Bungie more money to make another.
Oh yeah, to do another IP.
They gave $100 million. The new IP is starting already. They've gotten a team from the Destiny team, like from those guys, and they've created their own separate studio now. So it's happening.
Yeah, but they were basically like somewhere along one of the articles that talked about that. It was basically kind of saying like, if they miss on this and people aren't going to buy the expansion, that's pretty much going to shut down.
Yeah.
The rest of the people that were kind of hanging on. You're still going to have your couple of hardcore people that are in there, but look at Paragon, look at Evolve. I just read an article that Evolve game that was for online like that, they're closing the servers on that. Like, you're looking at games that have a smaller, super hardcore, nucleus of people that are quickly going to start dwindling, losing folks, and servers are going to start shutting down. It's like you're going to have from, oh, how the mighty have fallen type situation going on here, which I would hate to see that happen for the old Destiny.
Well, even on their posts though, like on Facebook and stuff. Granted, it's Facebook and not Twitter or anything, but I don't see any angry emoticons like top 3 reactions. It's always like likes, hearts, and wows, and there are people out there who are still playing, and Carlos Ryan's playing still, and so I don't know. I feel like there's still no incentive for that goddamn Activision to change their tune about how they're going to do it, and just let them release the games.
I feel like their player base is really.
It's a little weird too. Just fomenting the bad stuff too.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that the big telling part was whenever people like Bife and those guys had a moment where they're just like, yeah, I play other games too.
Yeah.
Bife
Bife especially was huge.
Yeah.
Watching him switch to Monster Hunter, and now he's doing Warframe, it's like...
Yeah.
And Eric's was like the Destiny guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no.
Well, I think there's no surprise that he went straight to Monster Hunter because he covered like a lot of the old ones too. But yeah, like he completely abandoned Destiny.
Yeah, he had his whole weekly Xur series and stuff. And
It's all gone. I mean, he's going to where the money is, right? I mean, it makes sense. You're a YouTuber. You need to go where the audience is. And I mean, check Twitch. I doubt Destiny is in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm
hopefully
sure
they can turn it around. But yeah, I think it's already that the mighty have fallen. I don't think it's a matter of if that'll happen. I think it's this game has been a train wreck, and they're just trying to bring it back
to salvage the pieces.
Yeah,
like I said, I hope. In that part of my heart that, like I said, or like you had mentioned, like what brought us all together, where a lot of us met and started playing through that game. I mean, I really hope that it's, what Taken King was to D1, that really gets those players that got burned in the beginning kind of back into it. I really hope it's that, but man, if it's not, I don't know. But I'm sure that'll be one of those scars we'll scratch over a good couple more times between now and September as we get more and more data about it. So stay tuned, kids.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk more Destiny and be more depressed.
Yeah, right.
More Destiny.
Destiny hype drain.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, shit.
Right,
shots fired.
Destiny hype drain.
I like that, actually. Although, it's the last 10 minutes as opposed to the hour of now playing, so. Good times, guys. We are consistently inconsistent, and I love it.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. We've been recording long enough tonight, and I'm dehydrated.
I feel you.
I thought you were Jen.
You beat me to it.
Well played.
I've been hanging out with you too much.
Dehydrated, signing off.
See you guys next time.
Good night, kids.
I am singing at the party. I am singing, it's my turn to sing at the party. Everyone is dancing, happy party. But Ramses is not dancing, he does not dance at the parties. Ramses number one, he knows the secrets of desire. Ramses is the one, he puts the people all